Hello, and welcome to my submission for the final project for LSC 525. This semester, I had the privilege of working with the Woonsocket Harris Public Library on their My Woonsocket Life Oral History project. The goal of this presentation is to talk about their project, what my contributions were, and what still needs to be done moving into the future. On January 23, 2017, Rhode Island Governor Gina Raimondo announced the Studio Road Next Generation Libraries Challenge, an inventive new idea to help support the state's public libraries with new technology and training to invigorate the state's residents moving into the 21st century. With this directive in mind, the staff at the Woonsocket Harris Public Library decided to apply for the grant with the idea of collaborating with the City of Woonsocket to help develop the city's comprehensive plan. On March 20th, 2017, the Woonsocket Harris Public Library was awarded a grant to collect oral history stories by the Rhode Island Office of Innovation and the Rhode Island Office of Library and Information Services. The library was a recipient of 40 iPads, an Apple desktop computer, a laptop, resources to repurpose an old study room into a soundproof studio, and a $40,000 grant from the Carnegie Corporation. After several weeks of meetings and planning, library staff worked throughout the summer of 2017 to test out their new equipment and begin to record oral history videos using the new iPads. During the months of July, August, and September, they went into the community to film Woonsocket's diverse population, while also encouraging residents to come to the library for interviews. Prior to my joining the project in the first week of September, they had probably collected around 25 to 30 video interviews. The aims of the project are simple. All respondents have to do is answer 3 questions. They are: question number 1, tell us your favorite memory of Woonsocket. Question number 2, what do you like about living in Woonsocket, or what do you find challenging? And question 3, what would you do to change Woonsocket? Here are 2 screenshots from the project. One is of me editing one of the most recent interviews on the library's Apple desktop computer, and another one where I'm in the process of adding metadata to a recent video upload on the library's YouTube page. Apple iMovie software was primarily used to edit each video, and we wanted to make sure that the subtitles, scene edits, graphics, and descriptions remain consistent. I also helped the library maintain a blogger publicity website, which served as a place to upload each video individually, post feature articles, and place coverage featured by local media outlets. One of the biggest things we achieved with the My Woonsocket Life project was incorporating closed captioning for each video to help increase accessibility for patrons with hearing impairments or other disabilities. Lazar and Jager have suggested that many websites are unfriendly to those with disabilities, so we not only promoted this through closed captioning, but ensured that articles on the Blogger website were easy to access for older patrons in mind, especially through the use of tagging in articles. The most difficult task has revolved around the videos themselves. Throughout my involvement with the project, most of the videos I've edited have been older to middle-aged white residents of the city of Woonsocket. While the responses they have provided have been fantastic, many of them have started to echo the same stories from their past, similar opinions about the present status of the city, and identical views of their outlook for Woonsocket. Many of the 50 to 60 remaining unedited videos are also from the same population. Moving forward, I would argue that more diverse voices are needed, as the city of Woonsocket is a melting pot. According to U.S. Census data, 14.2% of the city's residents are Latinos, 6.4% are African American, and 5.4% are Asian. An astounding 30.2% of the city's residents are under the age of 24. To date, of the 35 edited videos, only 2 have been of adolescents, and 2 others have featured residents of color. Throughout the summer months, Woonsocket Harris Public Library staff went out into the community by setting up a booth at many community night events and church festivals to encourage people to participate in the oral history project. In order to attract more multicultural perspectives, the library must not only continue to attend such cultural events in their gaze outward, but they must also look inward as well. Library staff must consider creating more inclusive programming to encourage others in the community to come into the library. Such ideas include English learning language courses and book clubs, citizenship classes, and specific programming in different languages. Other examples include computer instruction, workshops, and parenting classes, cultural showcases, exhibitions, displays, lectures, and celebrating key ethnic events like a multicultural Christmas, or a Kwanzaa night could go a long way towards bringing in more diverse cultures into the library. One such community partner the library could also team with in the future for such endeavors could be the Rhode Island Family Literacy Initiative. Through such multicultural events, relationships with patrons could be cultivated, and then diverse patrons might be willing to share their stories for the Oral History Project. Partially stating a view of the Networks for New Americans Initiative, Korber advances the idea of civic integration to point out that when all community members feel as though they belong, they are more secure in their rights and are therefore more willing to participate in civic life and share ownership in the community. With these ideas in mind, the My Woonsocket Life project can also be used as a platform for community activism to help give a voice to the voiceless and a soapbox for diverse constituencies who have not contributed. Library management should also make a pitch to the leaders of various multicultural communities that the Oral History Project is a key way for all stakeholders of the city to express their opinions. In this way, the library can be a source of power for everyone. Woonsocket Harris Public Library Management should also try to include diverse stakeholders in the decision-making processes, whether that's encouraging others to serve on a friends group, the Board of Trustees, a Young Adult Advisory Board, or perhaps representatives of community groups could be urged to collaborate on programming. Coupled with an already diverse staff, a multicultural advisory committee would help create a welcoming feel for others to be more inclined to contribute to the Oral History Project. In the last slide, I would like to build on my last point about creating a diverse environment, which might go a long way towards making members of the Asian, Latino, or Black community feel welcome at the library. The Woonsocket Harris Public Library staff should try to promote any and all multi-language materials like novels, how-to books, dictionaries, and tutorial resources. More native language periodicals and magazines should be added to the collection, and specific signage could be employed in key places of the library to make it appear friendlier to non-English speaking patrons. Externally, the library should attempt to reach out to native language radio stations, newspapers, and media outlets about what services it can provide for them and about the amazing opportunity the My Woonsocket Life project presents. Any promotional materials should also highlight the community partnerships with Pinpoint Rhode Island, which has already provided a translation service for one interview thus far. The next two slides contain my references. I hope you found my presentation informative and you've learned more about the My Woonsocket Life Oral History Project.